Isa sa mga pinakamahirap na maramdaman, yung mainip, mabore sa buhay, wala kang maisip, wala kang gana sa anumang bagay. Do you often get bored? How often do you get bored? Boredom can be a major enemy of emotional well-being and vibrant spirituality. What are the causes and what are the sources or the fathers of boredom? And what are its fruits or results or sons in our lives? Ang ating pong pag-aaral ngayon, ating unawain para lalong sumaya ang buhay natin, Father and Son of Boredom. Ang pinagmumulan at nagiging bunga ng mga inip at mga pagkabalisa at pagkawalang gana kuminsan sa buhay. Salamat, Ama, dahil kayo ay Diyos na maaari naming lapitan para sa maliliit o malalaking pangangailangan namin. And now we ask you to further enlighten us, O God, on this enemy of our well-being called boredom. Buksan niyo po ang aming isip, ang aming tainga na makarinig kami ng mga pagtuturo mula sa inyo at kayo lang naman ang gusto namin maging tagapangaral. So be our speaker, O God. Use your servant only as your instrument. Accomplish your holy purpose. Edify us. Improve our lives. Glorify only yourself. We bring to you minds that now we empty so that you can fill it with your wisdom. We bring to you our songs, our music, our dances, our offerings, our thanksgiving, and we also ask you to bless us. May your peace reign in our hearts, strengthen our bodies, protect us from the works of evil men and evil spirits, as well as our loved ones who are not with us right now. And may your mercies abound. Heal us, empower us by your word. In the name of your Son, Jesus our Lord, we pray. Amen. What are the sons or fruits of boredom? Unahin natin yung mga bunga ng boredom. May nagsabi that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Pagka daw ang isang isip ay walang laman, pumapasok doon si Satanas at nagtatrabaho doon dahil siya ay workaholic. Masipag siya. Kung merong pwedeng purihin kay Satanas, pagkasipag-sipag niya. At nakakasingit siya sa bawat anak ng Diyos na tamad. Tamad mag-isip, tamad na gumawa ng mabuti, pagagawin niya ng masama. Boredom can give birth to vice. And this is one of the sons or fruits of boredom. Bisyo. Mga masasamang nakakasanayang gawin. Bored people, idle people can invent something bad to do. At maraming naiimbentong gawing masama ang taong hindi busy, lalo yung naiinip at nababalisa. 1 Timothy 5:13, they get into the habit of being idle and going about from house to house. They become idlers, gossips, and busybodies, saying things they ought not to. So one of the sons of boredom is gossip. Marami pong mga chismosa, bored lang yan sa sarili nilang buhay. Kasi kung exciting ang buhay nila, mawala sila ng oras para manghimasok sa buhay ng may buhay. And so meddling also, as warned in Timothy, is part of the fruits of boredom. Pag ang buhay mo walang nagaganap, buhay ng iba ang gusto mong kalikutin at pakialaman at panghimasukan. Kaya po yung mga mahilig magchismis, mahilig makialam sa buhay ng may buhay, ang dapat nating reviewin, what's wrong with your life? What is so uninteresting in your life that you're so interested and available to be interested in the life of others? Sayang naman ang buhay mo kung wala kang inisip kung sino na ba ngayon ang boyfriend ni ganong artista. Sayang naman ang buhay mo kung inisip mo sino na ba ngayon ang minamahal ng ganong kapitbahay. Dahil nakatunganga ka lang at nanonood sa buhay ng may buhay. And chances are, these people don't even know that you exist. And you spend so much time and energy thinking about them, gossiping about them. Yung pa po mga walang magawa, lalo't habang walang magawa ay naglalasing pa at kung ano-ano pang ginagawang negative, magdadrugs pa. Lalo ngayong nagkakaroon ng pagkakataon si Satanas na pakilusin sila. Proverbs 1:11, idle men say, come along with us. Let's lie in wait for someone's blood. Let's waylay some harmless soul. Many people who are bored can actually commit murder. Physical murder, psychological murder, all types of murders. Dahil mga walang magawa. Kaya nakakatakot maglakad sa mga lansangan na maraming standby na walang magawa sa buhay. Kasi ang unang dumaan ditong naka-yellow, saksakin natin. Kasi wala silang magawa sa buhay. Kaya kailangan may ginagawa ang tao. 2 Samuel 11:1-2, In the spring, at the time when kings go off to war, David sent the king's men and the whole Israelite army, but David remained in Jerusalem. One evening, David got up from his bed and walked around on the roof of the palace. From the roof, he saw a woman bathing. The woman was very beautiful. You know the rest of the story. Sabi niya, sino ang magandang babaeng yung naliligo? She was having the purification bath that women do right after their monthly period. So malinaw na malinaw that this woman just had her menstruation and therefore she's not pregnant. But her husband was a loyal soldier of the king. Walang magawang hari, ang kanyang mga hukbo nasa gera, ba't siya nasa palasyo? Hindi siya manguna doon sa gera. So sa paglalakad-lakad niya sa kanyang bubong, and of course in Israel, you could walk on your roof. Flat yung mga bubong. Nakita niya yung babae, nalaman na niyang lahat at may asawa, ipinakuha pa rin niya nung gabi na yon. At silipingan niya, at pinaulit-ulit pa niya yon, nagkaroon ngayon ng problema, sabi ng babae, I'm pregnant. So anong pinagawa naman itong si David? Ipinatawag niya yung asawa from duty para pauwiin, hoping na sisipingan ng asawa yung wife niya para akala niya siya ang dahilan kung ba't naging pregnant ang wife niya. Eh hindi naman, dahil napakagaling na lalaki nito, sabi niya, paano ko naman uuwiin yung asawa ko yung mga kapwa ko sundalo nandun sa labanan. So doon lang siya natutulog sa labas ng bahay nila, hindi siya umuwi. And besides, these soldiers have taken the purification rites of men going to war, and one of those rites is not to go to bed with their wives while the war is in progress. So napakagaling na lalaki. Paano ngayon yan? Paano ipapaliwanag na nagdadalang tao si Mrs. Mental telepathy? So kinailangan ngayong ipapatay ni David yung sundalo niya. Sabi niya sa mga ibang officer, dalhin niyo doon sa harapan ng labanan, doon sa front lines. At pag nandun, iwan niyo para mapatay ng kalaban. Meron namang mga naging pagkakamali, marami pang nadamay na namatay. Dahil walang magawa yung hari, gumawa ng kabulastugan. Anong naging bunga nito? Temptation, outright adultery, betrayal of his loyal soldier, corruption of everybody around him, murder of a loyal citizen, and later on, yung anak na yun ay pinagdalang tao, namatay yun, kinuha yun ng Diyos, death of a child. Maraming pwedeng maging masamang bunga ang boredom. However, the same boredom that produces vice can produce virtue. Like the same heat that melts the wax, hardens the clay. Isang bagay, pareho lang yan, pero pwedeng magkabunga ng mabuti, pwedeng magkabunga ng masama. Pwede naman ang isilang dahil wala kang magawa, maging dakila ang pag-iisip at dakila kang tao. Si Solomon, na walang duda, ay nabobor din yan dahil ang talino niya, nag-iisa siyang matalino. Can you imagine, ikaw lang yung matalino? Kakabor yun. Ecclesiastes 2:4-6, I undertook great projects. I built houses for myself and planted vineyards. I made gardens and parks and planted all kinds of fruit trees in them. I made reservoirs to water groves of flourishing trees. Marami siyang mga projects. Boredom could lead to civic projects. Kaya maraming ladies of leisure nagkakaroon ng civic projects. At least maganda yung pinili nila. Social concern projects kaysa laging sosyalan. Pwede ka naman pumili kung magiging social work ba yung gagawin mo o puro sosyalan na lang sa buhay. Like Rizal in Dapitan. Can you imagine Rizal, a very international person? Itatapon mo bigla sa barangay Dapitan. So anong ginawa niya? Gumawa siya ng mga waterworks, mga lighting system para sa kalye, tutorial classes for the boys in Dapitan. Ang dami niyang ginawa kaysa siya mainip. Because the same idleness can give birth to virtue. And Solomon, because he was king, did so much more. He involved himself in commerce, diplomacy, science, arts, culture, etc. Because wisdom could isolate a person. Kawawa naman ang matatalino kasi konti lang yan sa mundo. So pwede ka ngayong mainip, malungkot, wala kang makausap na kauri mo. Kaya ang sabi niya sa sobrang nagpapakatalino, wag na lang. Maganda na yung average ka na lang, liba na lang tinatawag ka ng Diyos na maging bayani, dakila, pinuno. Sabi niya sa Ecclesiastes 12:12, we warned my son, much study wearies the body. Huwag mo nang paratingin sa malalayo pa yung isip mo, yung sobrang layo, tapos nag-iisa ka. Malulungkot ka lang. Like ignorance and dullness of mind, knowledge and brilliance can lead to boredom. Basta medyo malayo ka sa center, medyo extreme na, magkakaroon yun ng mga bungang kuminsan ay mapait. Isa pang hari ang nabobore isang gabi, balisa, walang magawa. Pwede sana siya magpatawag ng maraming babae at pagsayawin niya doon. Pwede siyang tumawag ng mga sirkera na kakain ng apoy, lululo ng espada o mamimisikleta sa alambre. Pero anong ginawa niya? Esther 6:1. That night the king could not sleep. So he ordered the book of the Chronicles, the record of his reign, to be brought in and read to him. Imbes gumawa ng kabalastugan, sabi, buksan ang history books. Ano bang mga pinaggagawa natin ng mga nakaraang taon na ito? Sige, basahin sa akin, may tagabasa naman. So, this boredom led to study. It led to review of things and to the correction of an oversight. Meron dong nabuklat na meron palang isang bayaning nagligtas ng buhay niya, hindi pa napepremyohan. So yun ay itinuwid. Yan ang mga maaring maging anak ng boredom. Tingnan natin yung tatay, the father, or cause of boredom. Isa sa mga pinakamalalaking karakter ng tatay ng boredom, idleness. Tulad ng binagit natin. Too much time. Too much space. Proverbs 6:10-11, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a bandit. Pag lagi ka na lang nakahiga, nakatunganga, namamahinga, nakahalukip-kip, siguradong magiging mahirap ka, magdarahop ka. And this poverty can also mean poverty of the mind. Hindi lang poverty ng bulsa, of the soul, of the spirit. Pag wala kang ginagawang mabuti, hindi ka lang maghihirap economically, maghihirap ka rin intellectually. Kasi walang nadadagdag sa iyong runong, magiging mangmang ka. So, idleness can be a father of boredom. Too much regularity can also be a father of boredom. Too much routine and evenness and predictability. Yung ang buhay mo parang relo ng City Hall, hindi umaandar. Lagi ka na lang nandun. Yun at yun. Titingin ka 4 o'clock. Kasi walang pondo yung City Hall, pero yung asawa ng mayor, ang daming relo. Di ba? Mga designer relo pa. Pero yung City Hall na tinitingnan ng lahat, anong oras na ba? Hindi umaandar ang relo. No? Pagka gano'n ang buhay mo, hindi umaandar, laging routine, paulit-ulit na lang. Alas 4, gigising, alas 5, kakain, gano'n, mabobore ka sa buhay. O kung hindi mo nahahalatang nabobore ka, siguradong ikaw kasi yung boring. Para kang relo. No? Wala man lamang na surprise sa buhay. You will be bored. Ecclesiastes 1:8-9, all things are wearisome, more than one can say. What has been will be again, what has been done will be done again. Paulit-ulit na lang. So what do you do with that? We'll discuss it later. Another father of boredom is too much success, too much security, and too much ease. Ano kanyo? Too much success? Yes. Mas maraming successful people na bored kaysa doon sa mga nagsisikap pa lang at hindi na mag-succeed sa buhay. How can you get bored when you are trying to survive? But when you have a lot of savings, your position is secure, pwedeng ang kasunod na niyan, boredom. That's why big boys with big money will buy big toys. Boredom could lead and could come out of lack of struggle, lack of fear of survival, lack of threats and danger to life can actually lead to boredom. Yung masyado kang successful at secure. Pag ang aga-agang dumating ng tagumpay sa buhay ng isang tao, at pagkatapos wala na siyang inaantay na mas malaking tagumpay, kamumuhian na niya ang buhay. Ayaw niyang dumating ang bukas. Kasi ang pagdating ng bukas, ibig sabihin, paubos ng paubos ang kanyang araw ng buhay, paubos ng paubos ang enjoyment niya, pakonti yun ang pakonti, kasi wala na siyang inaabangan pa. Kaya yung success, hindi rin masyadong kaibig-ibig na dumating ng ubod ng aga. nawawalan ka na ng hinihintay na darating pa. So ang aga-agang dumating, ano ngayon ang gagawin mo? Maliban na lang makaimbento ka ng iba na namang proyekto sa buhay. Kaya maraming very bored people, yung magtataka ka, yung ang laki-laki ng bahay, ang ganda-ganda, may mga TV, may mga kung ano-anong equipment, may bahay dito, may bahay doon, pwede magbakasyon kahit saan, pwede namang mag-aeroplano, pwede namang magsaya, pwede mag-shopping, pero bored pa rin. Kasi walang struggle. Ngayon, yung babaeng laban ng labas sa gilid ng release ng tren at yung naglalaba kasi halos masagasaan siya, paano siya mabobor? Iwas siya ng iwas. Gusto man niya magpahinga, hindi siya makapagpahinga dahil yung nilaban niya, paplantsahin pa niya mamaya. Habang pinaplantsa niya, magluluto pa siya. Ang dami niyang gagawin sa buhay. Boredom is not in the language of the very poor. Kaya kuminsan, poverty can be a blessing. Mabuti ng poor ka na nalilibang kaysa mayamang kang bored. And it's terrible when you can afford boredom because you can also avoid the vices that you try to cover up your boredom with. Kaya napakaraming mga nagagawang hindi tama nung maraming mga pera. Each day that passes could be counted as a loss to the very, very successful. So, ang yaman-yaman ko na, sayang naman, naubos ang isang araw, nabawasan na ang life ko uli. So, tuwing humahapon, tuwing gumagabi, halos pang hinayangan mo ang paglampas ng panahon. Kasi wala ka nang inaabangan. Pero yung mga iba, yung mga ordinary working people like us, wow, 3 buwan na lang, meron ng 13th month pay. May inaabangan ka man lang. At kahit yung 13th month pay mo, ang konti, alam na alam mo kung anong gagawin mo doon. Yung ang dami-daming pera, actually, hindi naman niya malaman ano nga bang gagawin niya dyan sa pera na yan. So, meron ding blessing pag kinakapos ka. At least hindi ka nabobore. Boredom could even turn into fear of the passing of time. It is very important to appreciate your station in life, no matter what it is. Siyempre may boredom din ng mga kapuspalad at mga mahihirap, pero hindi nagtatagal kasi ginigising sila agad sa katotohanan na meron silang kailangang gawin and they become busy. Boredom can be an indicator of something that its victim should actually be thankful for. When you're very, very healthy, wala kang sickness, you can be bored. Pero hindi ka makahinga, habol-habol mo hininga every minute, paano ka mabobore nun? Busy ka. No? Hindi mo naisipang magpakamatay dahil pinipilit mong huwag mamatay. Ang nakakaisip lang naman magpakamatay yung walang threat sa buhay niya. No? So, Solomon was very likely bored in many, many ways. So sabi niya sa Ecclesiastes 2:10, I denied myself, nothing my eyes desired. I refused my heart, no pleasure. Pero pagkatapos ng sabi niya, boring din, meaningless. Hindi pala talaga yun. Magastos lang, wala rin naman nangyari. No? Now, how to avoid boredom? Get busy. Obvious naman. 1 Thessalonians 5:14, and we urge you, brothers, warn those who are idle. In other words, work 6 days a week and the rest only 1 day. Kaya nga yung mga working classes, bihirang mabore. It's the people of leisure that always have to invent something to do dahil nga bored. Too much rest will bore you. You know why? You were designed by God to work 6 days a week and to rest on the 7th. Yun ang design. If you work less than 6 days a week, you will be bored because you are not working according to God's design. Now, work doesn't mean employment all the time. Okay? Basta may ginagawa ka. Productive, fruitful. Social projects or sosyalan. Pwede kang umisip, anong gagawin mo dyan? Lalo't marami kang pera. Diba? Anong gagawin mo? Magpapaaral ka ng mga tao, gagawa ka ng mga social project, repair school buildings, o gagawa ka ng mga party na yung fountain champagne ang lumalabas, yung ganyan. Pwede ka naman pumili That's why your freedom can give you vice or virtue. Siyempre, alam naman natin mga anak ng Diyos kung anong dapat nating paggagawin sa buhay. Yung may katuturan sa kapwa, nakakatulong sa kapuspalad, ikinalulugod ng Diyos, and at the same time, ina-enjoy mo rin siyempre. Kung gusto ng Diyos na tulungan mo yung kapuspalad, ikaw, tulungan mo sarili mo. So do something useful or fruitful or beautiful for yourself. Marami pong nabobor yung mga lolo't lola na mga edad na. Bakit? Kasi wala na silang masyadong ginagawang useful or fruitful or beautiful. Unless, of course, sobrang labo ng mata, o kaya hindi makakilos o paralyzed, siyempre hindi na nila kasalanan yon. Pero pag pwede pa tayong gumalaw ang kamay, ang paa, makakita ang mata, marami pa tayong pwedeng gawin. Kesa abangan si kamatayan na dumaan at kariting ka. Kasi nakakabor yung naghihintay ng kamatayan. No? Kailangan meron kang bagong pinagkakaabalahan. Kahit may edad ka na, meron kang bagong interest. Read. Tulad ng ginawa ng hari. O kung hindi ka makapagbasa, have someone read to you. Marami namang mga audiobooks ngayon eh. Pwede ka na makinig na lang yan. Study. Know something unknown before. Learn a new skill. Do something good or beautiful for your family, for your church, o sa inyong mga sakop. Sakop, sino ba yon? Mga empleyado nyo, mga taong under your care, under your authority. You could always do something for them. Never forget to do something very, very good, for instance, for your household help, for your labandera, or for your driver, or for your mga staff sa bahay. Kasi 99.99% kayo lang ang inaasahan nila for anything that is financial. Wala na sila ibang source. Sa inyo lang nakaabang ng nakaabang. So be kind, be sensitive, be generous. Generous people will hardly get bored. Because when you are generous, many people will line up for your generosity. You'll be busy trying to produce for them. And when you no longer have any need in life, keep producing so you have a lot to give away. Do something good for your community, for your country, for the planet. There is always something you can do. Yung babaeng huwaran, Proverbs 31, sa verse 27, sabi, she does not eat the bread of idleness. Busy siya, although she no longer had any need, because she wanted to produce surplus so she could have a lot to give away. How else do you avoid boredom? Go for variety. Do something new. Do things in a new way. Kung nagda-drive ka, lalo't hindi mo naman problema ang gasolina, paminsan-minsan, iba-ibahin mo yung ruta ng iyong biyahe. Para iba-ibang view naman ang nakikita mo. Para kung may nagbabalak bumaril sa'yo doon sa isang kanto, mabigo siya dahil sa ibang kanto ka naman dumaan ngayon. Hindi ka masyadong predictable. Iba-ibahin nyo ang recipe ng ginagawa nyo. Kung minsan naman ang problema ng tao, ano kaya maiulam? Problema nyo ba yun? Ano kaya ang maulam na? Anong gusto nyong ulam? Ayawan, ano kaya ang maiulam? Yung problema ng maraming tao. Mas malaking problema yung walang maiulam, no? Yung walang maiulam, hindi pa na problema yun eh. Kahit ano nando, kakainin talaga ng mabagsik niya sikmura. Pero yung maraming maiulam, problema, ano kaya ang maiulam? Iba-ibahin nyo ang recipe. Malaman nyo kumisang, ay, maganda palang pampaasim ito, masarap palang ganun-ganun yun. Different styles. Try anything new that is not bad. Matthew 9:17, pour new wine into new wineskins. Of course, ang konteksto nito, salvation through faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. But you can always universalize the concept and apply it in any detail of your life. Pour new wine into new wineskins. Have new interests. And there's one interesting thing that we can do, have new friends. Don't stop making friends after high school. Keep making new friends. And if you are free romantically, have new flames and passions. Renew your interest. Revive forgotten dreams and forgotten passions. Yung mga kinailangang ipahinga ang kanilang mga pangarap at mithiin dahil nag-asawa, nagpalaki ng mga anak, etc., etc. At kung naglakihan ang mga anak nyo, free na kayo, go back to the dreams of your youth na maaaring hindi nyo nagawa noon. Explore the unexplored part of you and side of you. And seldom will you find life boring. Maraming puso ng tao libingan, sementeryo. Alam nyo kung ano mga nakalibing? Mga pangarap na nabigo. Pwede nyo yan i-resurrect, lalo kung meron na kayong means, dahil hindi na kayo masyadong busy trying to survive. Another way, of course, to avoid boredom is to desire. And I mean verb desire. Kailangan tayong laging may minimithi. You are alive. Have passion. Mga Kristiyano, huwag lagi kayong allergic sa word na desire or passion or enjoyment. At lagi nyo na lang ini-equate yan with sin. Pag sinabi mong have fun, sasabihin agad ng iba, just don't compromise. Pag narinig na yung fun, laging compromise ang iniisip. Sobrang successful ang religious leaders to brainwash us into thinking that anything that is fun or happy is evil. It's not true. Sabi ni Lord sa John 10:10, I came that you might have life and have it abundantly, have it to the full. So be passionate while alive because you have plenty of time to be dead. You have plenty of time for eternal rest. So habang hindi pa tayo pinagpapahinga, sa tabi ni Abraham, get a life. Kasi pag namatay ka na, may iba na yon. Hindi mo na mababalikan yung hindi mo nagawa ngayon. E ba't ka pa pinadaan dito kung hindi mo naman magagawa yung dapat mong gawin? Ecclesiastes 9:5, for the living know that they will die. Their hate and their jealousy have long since vanished in death. So mawawala na lahat yung passion pag namatay ka na. So habang buhay ka, be passionate. Live while you are alive on earth. How else avoid boredom? Keep setting new goals and new challenges. Gusto niyo magkolehiyo, 70 anyos na kayo? Why not? Nabalitaan niyo ba lately yung 92 na gumraduate pa from college sa Amerika? Yung sa Amerika, may mapupuri ka rin dyan kasi ang mga tao hindi mahiyain. 85 papasok sa college, hindi mahiyain. Dito naman 27 lang, ayaw na. Baka naman matanda na ako. Gawin mo anong yung kung matanda ka, di ba? Gusto mong mag-masters at 60? Do it. Namatay ka ng 64, at least namatay kang nagma-masters. Diba? Kesa namatay kang hindi nakapag-masters. Why not? Romance after widowhood? Why not? Our society frowns on it as if it's a crime. Diba? Mga madadamot na anak na ayaw ng pag-asawahin ng mga nanay o tatay. Alam niyo kung bakit? Mga tatakot lang kayong may makaagaw ng mana nyo. Selfish children. Diba? Tapos pag makati naman yung likod ng nanay nyo, hindi na makakamutin. Ikis-kis yun sa dingding, mami. Diba? Dahil makati ang likod. Ayaw nyo ba namang may Bogart nakakamot-kamot ng kanyang likod? Kahit ba naman bigyan niya ng allowance, kung marami naman siyang ibibigay, sumaya naman siya. Kesa sa inyo lahat napunta at sa asawa nyo, ang mana ni mami, baka mapunta sa iba. Yung alam nyo naman yung mga manugang, talaga mga interesado yan sa mamanahin. No? Kaya napaka-halaga na, huwag kang selfish. Pupuntahan nyo yung nanay nyo ng Christmas Eve, pero aalis na rin kayo bago mag-alas 12, o pagka alas 12, nag-iisa na naman siya. O byuda naman siya, ano naman na meron siyang lover, lalo't dignified naman yung relationship nila, mano naman mag-asawa siya uli. Mga anak kasi can be selfish. At saka mga kapitbahay, chismosa, 70 na, may boyfriend pang 20. Inggit ka lang, ano? Alam nga namang 70 ka, kuha ka pa ng boyfriend na 75, edi tagalagay ka pa na sa lopa sa likod niya. Mabuti na yung mas bata kaysa sa'yo, mailibing ka man lang niya. Tapos mag-aasawa na lang siya uli. At least everybody's happy. People can be so narrow-minded, we forget that we live on this earth only once. And then we ask people not to live their life to the fullest because we have selfish interest. Waiting for death to take its course could be very boring. Sabi mo, naku, ayoko na, malapit na ako mamatay. Ano naman bigla kang namatay habang nagmamarcha ka patungo sa altar? Di ba? At least namatay kang masaya. When you can, brothers and sisters, die active. Die swimming. Die traveling. Die doing social work. Die creating, producing and working, loving and living. There's plenty of time to lie down in your burol. So while you're alive, live. Yung iba pa, ayoko na magbiyahe, baka ako mamatay. Kahit naman nakahiga ka sa kama mo, mamamatay ka rin Di ba? So mabuti nang nagbabiyahe kang may magandang view. At nagagawa mo yung gusto mo. Don't die ahead of death. It has its own time. Huwag niyong unahan. So as you will not be bored and boring, don't be spoiled by success. Many boring people are the very successful people. You know why? Because they're so set on their success. They don't bother anymore to be exciting, to be pleasing and pleasant. Sa artist circles, mga kapatid, may mga ilang artist na alam mo, pag yun yung painting, halimbawa, babaeng ang tataba ng binti, painting yan ni Painter 1. Mga babaeng nakabalot ang ulo sa mga saging, yan ang trabaho ni Painter 2. Ayaw na mga informed and the progressive artist ng ganon, na kung naging successful ka sa ganong style, na stuck ka na buong buhay mo, wala ka nang ginawa kundi babaeng laging may sunong na saging, kasi yun ang nabebenta sa ermita. Kaya, yung sikat sa mga tao, uy, painting ni ano yan, yung mga bahay na ganyan ng kulay, among informed artists, ayaw nila nun because they say, you get spoiled by your success. You get stuck. You don't progress anymore. Kaya nakaka-spoil din yung success. Don't rest on past accomplishments. From a know-everything high school senior, be a naive college freshman, and you will have a new world. Pagka kasi successful ka na, may pangalan ka na, o may konting edad ka na, ayaw mo na ng indignities of having to learn, of having to be found to be ignorant of something. But when you open yourself to these new possibilities, actually a new world opens. Nagkakaroon ka ng bagong mundo. So keep on dreaming and keep on planning. James 4:13, today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city. Spend a year there, carry on business, and make money. Now, that is not bad, as long as you don't leave God out of the equation and the plan. Kaya nadidemonize yung ganitong plan kasi nagpaplano puwera ang Diyos, ang yabang-yabang, parang siya na lang ang gagawa ng buo niyang future. But when you make such new exciting plans, put God in the drawing boards, let God lead you, and that will not be bad. Reinvent your life, yourself, your challenges. Kung bored kayo, mga kapatid, sa inyong trabaho, halimbawa, employed kayo, bored na kayo, gusto nyo mag-apply sa ibang trabaho, magbibigay kayo ng biodata. Sa biodata nyo, sa inyong curriculum vita, ano nakalagay? Yung mga pinag-aralan nyo, yung mga seminar na inattendan ninyo, yung mga naging trabaho at posisyon nyo in the past. Ang ibibigay sa inyong trabaho uli ng pag-a-applyan nyo, the same job. Kasi ang ibinibigay nyo, binibigyan nyo siya ng informasyon ng inyong nakaraan na gusto nyo ng takasan, malay ba niyang gusto nyo takasan yun, yun ang ibibigay niya. Kung nag-a-apply kayo sa trabaho at gusto nyo maiba ang posisyon, maiba ang trabaho, huwag kayo magbibigay ng biodata or curriculum vita. Ang ibibigay nyo is what many people call qualifications brief. It's a new style of presenting yourself to employers that highlights only your skills, not your past positions or your past education and training na gusto nyo ngang takasan. Puntahan nyo ang internet, ilagay nyo qualifications brief. Makikita nyo how to make it kung gusto nyo ibahin ang buhay nyo. Because the tendency of employers is to always judge you according to your previous experience, not according to your potential new skills. Kaya yan ang dapat ginagawa. Ayaw nyo pala ng buhay nyo, di palitan nyo. Hindi nyo kailangang pasanin yung krus na yan kung ayaw nyo siyang pasanin eh. Ayaw nyo maging accountant, 40 years old na kayo, gusto nyo maging ballerina, medyo may konti tayong problema dyan. So mag-isip pa kayo ng second gusto nyo. Diba? Marami pa tayong pwedeng magawa, pero hindi nyo kailangang yakapin ang puno na ayaw nyong yakapin buong buhay. You are the captain of your soul and let God be your general para may mangyari ka sa buhay mo. Si Paul, very accomplished, super accomplished. Pero ano sabi niya sa Philippians 3:13? Brothers, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it, but one thing I do, forgetting what is behind, remember, forgetting my biodata, and straining toward what is ahead. I don't rest on past laurels. Kahit ang dami ko nang nagawa, hindi ko pa rin tinuturing ang sarili kong made. I'm still remaking, reinventing myself. Nililimot ko yung nakaraan, gumagawa ako ng mga bagong goals sa buhay. So a life that will not be boring is a life that looks forward, not backward. Sentimental people suffer more than others. Because sentimental people mourn every passing, miss every absence, and feel every pain. Kailangan din, hindi ka masyadong sentimental. How to avoid boredom? Have fun. You cannot be bored if you're having fun. You don't have fun? Create and invent your fun. Kaya galit na galit ako sa Christian thought na laging ine-equate ang fun sa evil. Maraming relihiyoso allergic to have fun. So ang mga itsura, tingnan ninyo. Kung hindi boring, bored. Hindi masayang kasama, iiwasan mong makadaupang palad. Ecclesiastes 3:22, so I saw that there is nothing better for a man than to enjoy his work. Ecclesiastes 5:19, when God gives any man wealth and possessions and enables him to enjoy them, accept his lot and be happy in his work is what he should do. This is a gift of God. Binibigyan ka pala ng pera, huwag kang mag-guilty. Magbigay ka sa church, magbigay ka sa charity, magbigay ka sa mga nangangailangan, and then splurge. Kaya ka nga binigyan ng pera para gastusin mo. Tapos inubos mo lahat sa charity, tapos ikaw ngayon nangangaliran ka parang pindang, tapos akala mo natutuwa sa'yo yung Diyos. Sabi ng Diyos, hindi ko na nga bibigyan to uli, binibigyan ko nga, hindi naman ine-enjoy. Nasubukan niyo ba magregalo sa isang tao ng isang bagay, tapos hindi ginamit? Bibigyan niyo ba uli? Basta natutuwa ang Diyos sa gastos nyo, bibigyan niya ng replenishment yan. Basta tama, balanced, meron yung iba, meron ka rin. Huwag yung wala ka, kasali ka doon, kaya nga sa'yo binigay eh. Para kasali ka. Meron bang humahawak ng palayok na hindi nauulingan? Diba? Meron ba namang accountant na may debit credit na walang kupit? Dumadaan sa kamay mo, nakakagawa ka ng paraan. Hindi ko sinasabing mangupit kayo ha. Pag ibinibigay sa inyo ng Diyos, enjoyin nyo yan. Huwag puro guilt trip. Siyempre, pinapagilty kayo ng simbahan para ibigay nyo lahat sa simbahan. Natural. Pero alam nyo, brainwashing lang yun. Tithe lang ang hinihingi ng Diyos tsaka offering. Yung iba sa inyo na. Nagbigay ka ngayon ng love gift sa mga tao, mga charities, pero marami doon sa'yo. Hindi naman nagkakamali ang Diyos, sa'yo binigay eh. Huwag ka lang magkamaling solohin. Yun ang mali doon. Ang relihiyon, 2,000 taon na, walang itinuturo sa tao, kundi isuka mo lahat, ibigay mo lahat sa simbahan. Diba? Magpakahirap ka habang ang tataba ng mga pare. Yung bakit? Ang tataba ng mga pastor, ang lalaki ng tiyan. Pagkatapos, ang tuturo sa church, fasting. Parang look the part. Kailangan naman credible ka. Sabi sa Ecclesiastes 11:9, be happy. Dapat happy ka. Hindi ka nilikha ng Diyos para torturein. Nilikha ka ng Diyos para sumaya ka kasi mahal ka ng Diyos. Huwag ka lang selfish. Huwag ka lang malasing. Huwag ka lang makalimot. Now, another way to avoid boredom, brothers and sisters, is to entertain problems. Entertain needs and crises. I did not say invite. I said entertain. Dumating ang problema mo, pangangailangan, crisis mo sa buhay, harapin mo. Hindi yung entertain na libangin, ha? Harapin mo yan. Nandyan eh. Why? At the very least, you will not be bored. May blessing din therefore. It is the duty of man to be fruitful and happy, or at least not to be bored and lonely. Lahat tayo, dumarating yung panahon that you have to cross a valley of depression. You have to cross a river of loneliness. Or you have to cross an ocean of crisis. While you are doing that, you may be tired, but you will not be bored. So look at it as a blessing. And once you have crossed, help other people cross also. And with God's help, we can. We can cross every valley. Psalm 23 verse 4, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So hindi ko kakatakutang tawirin yung madidilim. Kasama ko ang Diyos. And we could be God's rod and staff to comfort one another. Huwag tayong sobrang maging obsessed with our boredom that we forget to minister to other people who might also be bored. Hindi lahat ng nurse, hindi lahat ng doktor, walang sakit. Pero kahit may sakit sila, nanggagamot pa rin. Kaya kahit tayo may dinaramdam, may problema, may inaalala, may lugar pa rin para tayo maging maalalahanin sa iba. May lugar pa rin para tayo maging matulungin na bumuhat ng kanilang mga dala, kahit tayo man ay may daladalang mabibigat na buhat. Kasi sa oras na sarili mo na lang problema ang sinarili mong isipin, bibigat lang yan ang bibigat. Madalas gumagaan ang dala mo kung tumutulong ka sa ibang dalhin yung mga dalahin nila. Hindi natin maipaliwanag, himalayon. That as you help other people with their problems, your problems recede to the background and become smaller. But when you are so focused on your own concerns only, your concerns will grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So when bored, do something. Do whatever it takes to get out of it. Don't entertain boredom to stay too long. And let your boredom give birth, not to vice, but to virtue. Boredom, like birds, cannot be stopped from flying over your head, but you can stop it from nesting in your hair. Pag nararamdaman mong nabobore ka na, gumawa ka na ng paraan. And while still struggling in life, dreaming and hoping, not having yet what you want, just relax and enjoy the struggle. Be thankful. Ibig sabihin lang nun, malayo ka sa boredom. 1 Thessalonians 5:18, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Very importantly, minister to the bored and the depressed. Baka sa bahay nyo, mga kapatid, merong depressed, merong bored. Husbands, baka naman 8 oras kayo sa golf course, bored na si Mrs. Tapos pag uwi nyo pa, ipapalinis nyo pa yung golf clubs. Gusto niyang ipalo sa inyo yung golf clubs dahil wala na kayong ginawa, kundi golf. Diba? Ang tagal-tagal yan, 4 hours, 5 hours. Kung ang nagustuhan pa ni big boy with a big toy, yachting. Aba, mga araw at mga 24 hours, 3 days siya na yachting with the boys. Anong gagawa ni Mrs.? To miss you like crazy? Kung minsan ay maraming bored sa buhay nyo dahil nagkukulang kayo. No? Puro sarili mo lang naiisip mo. Kung minsan nakakalimutan mo, meron kang bored na anak sa bahay o may bored kang nanay sa bahay, anak. Naboboard na pala yung tatay at nanay mo, layas ka pa ng layas ng bahay. Naboboard na pala yung lola mo. May pananagutan tayo sa isa't isa. Kung hindi ka bored, isipin mo, sino kaya ang bored dito na malibang ko naman, maipasyal ko, makwentuhan ko man lang. Minister to the bored and the depressed. That was the ministry of Jesus. 1 Samuel 16:23. Whenever the Spirit from God came upon Saul, David would take his harp and play. Then relief would come to Saul. He would feel better, and the evil spirit would leave him. Kita nyo, depressed na depressed yung Saul, tutugtugan ni David. Ang galing ni David, he's a Renaissance man. Sundalo, makisig, mabalasik, pero musician, artist, dancer pa. Di ba? Sa kanya na yung mga magagandang mga katangian ng isang kumpletong tao. So give the ministry of companionship. And when you can, refer bored people to those who can help, especially when you yourself cannot help. Give bored people something good to do. Kung may kakayanan kayo, yung bahay nyo, nagmumura sa kalakihan niya, na naliligid ng mga maliliit na dampa sa inyong lugar, huwag mo namang gamitin lang yung pera mo para ipamukha sa mga kapitbahay mo kung gaano sila kahirap at gaano kakayaman. Buksan mo ang iyong garahe, magtayo ka ng cottage industry para yung mga bored wives doon, imbes magchismisan at maghingutuhan, may magawa. Then nakatulong ka sa boredom ng iba. Yung iba sa kawalang magawa, nag-aalaga ng mga kuto sa bote o ilalaglag sa ulo. O hulihin mo lahat, 15 yan ha. So pag nahuli na uli lahat, o tapos na, bukas na naman. Pero mo pwede naman silang gawa ng cottage industry. Kung may pera kayo, huwag nyo lang lustayin sa pagyayabang o sa pagpapakitang, I have arrived. Do something for those who haven't. People will be blessed, God will be delighted, and you will not be bored. Everybody goes home happy. Salamat Panginoon dahil concerned kayo sa amin. Salamat dahil gusto niyo masaya kami na hindi kami bored. Na napakaraming katuruan sa Bible na pwede namin panghawakan para palayasin namin yung boredom sa buhay namin and know that what we are doing is a biblical thing. Thank you, Lord, for giving us this affirmation. Bigyan niyo po kami ngayon ng karunungan para ma-apply sa buhay ang lahat ng ito. Iba-iba buhay namin, iba-iba korte, iba-iba circumstance, pero isa lang ang katotohanan, posibleng kami o mga mahal namin sa buhay na bobor. Teach us. Teach us so that we may drive boredom away from our lives, that we be happy and productive, godly, and very, very fruitful people. Salamat, Panginoon, sa lahat ng ito. Sa ilang saglit ng katahimikan, tulad ng nakagawian natin, magbulay-bulay pa tayo mga kapatid. Humanap pa kayo sa Panginoon ng practical application. You should not be bored too long. Once in a while it happens. Among the loved ones that you can minister to, they should not be bored. Meron din tayong pananagutan. Lord, teach us so we can be agents of blessing. Let's be silent and pray for a while.